Hello, everybody. This is Kim, back again, not so much to rant, but I have an open letter to President Barack Obama. Sir, I've got some things I need to say to you, and it's important that I say them. First of all, I want to thank you and let you know that I love you. Not the way Michelle loves you, but I love the fact that you have set a new benchmark for young black men to look up to believe that they too can aspire to be president of the United States. You've done for young black men what Oprah has done for me. I did not know or could conceive that it was possible to be a black billionaireess. But because Oprah set the template and showed that it can be done, I know I can do it too. So that's what you've done for young black men, sir. Your too could be commended, and for that I am eternally grateful. But you're having some problems here, Mr. President, and you need to tighten up. You got to tighten up, sir, because if you don't tighten up, your sharks, they're circling, and they're going to try to take you down, and I don't want to see that happen. First things first that I need you to do, Mr. President, is I need you to hold your gonads. You got to hold your stones. Does everybody understand what I mean by that? And you got to hold your gonads a la George W. Bush. Now, I disagree pretty much with everything that President Bush, number 43, did policy-wise, foreign policy-wise, domestic policy-wise. But one thing he did, he held his stones. Like it or love it, take it or leave it. He did what he wanted to do from the day he walked into the White House until the day he walked out. Does the 2000 election ring a bell for anyone? George Bush was like, oh yeah? I lost the election? Really? Why don't y'all ask my brother in Florida, did I lose the election? That's what I thought. I didn't lose the election. So I need you to hold your stuff the way he did. But the difference is his agenda didn't benefit anybody except maybe Halliburton, maybe the citizens of Iraq. I think that's kind of questionable. Your agenda wants to benefit everybody, sir. I applaud you, commend you for your attempts at saving the economy. We're not in a depression, so I would say that your policy has worked. And part of that was Bush's doing, kinda, towards the end, but I don't want to get into that right now because it's just too much. But you want universal health care for everyone. And I don't see how any United States citizen could ever be against that, because it's the most patriotic thing is to care about the welfare and the health of its citizens. So, sir, you need to keep doing what you're doing, but I need you to walk and talk like a Leo. Mr. President, you're a Leo. You're a lion. You're a leader, born to lead. Lead us, sir. Stop trying to compromise with these Republicans who they don't want you to succeed. Do you think they want you to be the one who gives universal health care? Absolutely not. They're going to fight you tooth and nail on it, sir, and your attempts to compromise with them is really just energy wasted because they're not going to do anything that you want them to do. And leave it to the Democrats. My goodness, the Democrats, we got a Democrat in the White House and a majority Democratic Congress, and somehow we still can't get poop done. What the frick is that? Tell these people to get it together ASAP. Speaker Pelosi and Representative Harry Reid need to get these Democrats, these so-called blue dog Democrats. I don't know what that is. Get it together. Vote your party. The Republicans during the entire term of George W. Bush voted the way he wanted them to vote. It was never any question whether the Republicans were going to ride with him or not. And the fact that some of these Democrats are wavery, well, we don't know if we agree with the president. Funk that. F-O-N-K, I said. Funk that. No, get in line. And I almost have to compare it to gang warfare, which is a very poor analogy, but I'm going to go with it anyway. It's almost like the Bloods and the Crips. Do you ever hear the Crips say, you know what, I think the Bloods have a good point there about taking over that? No, never. Ride with your party. Tell these people to get in line or get down or get off the train right now. Just turn in your Democratic card if you're not going to go with the president. And that's truly how I feel about that. In terms of Really quickly, back to the economy, Mr. President. You said while you were campaigning that you were going to go line by line through the budget, that you're going to have a very transparent administration. Well, sir, tell me what line in the budget that it says that the money that you gave to the banks for bailout money, that they still get to reward themselves with millions and millions of dollars in bonuses. Your people are struggling. The American citizen, the average American citizen, the below average American citizen, the above average American citizen, everyone is struggling. And I can't see the justification in giving a bank executive $20 million bonus for anything. Please. You know, I was watching your Secretary of State, Tim Geithner, this Sunday on Meet the Press. Okay, first of all, stop letting him talk because he sounds like an idiot. And second of all, David Gregory asked a question that really infuriated me because I've heard this question asked several times and it still doesn't make any sense to me. But David Gregory was like, oh, well, Secretary Geithner, don't you think that by limiting the salaries that the executives at these banks get, don't you think it's going to run them away? So, bye, let them go. If you, Mr. President, which I think is a good idea, to limit the amount of money that these executives can make, because they have shown that they have messed up the economy. Their interests are not beneficial for the greater good. Their interests are self-serving and self-serving only. That's why we find ourselves in this predicament as it stands right now. But please, let them go. If they can't work, oh, I'm so sorry that you can't afford to live off $900,000 a year. Well, kick rocks, cousin. Goodbye. That's all that we got to say about that. And sir, Mr. President, see, I'm getting a little hyped just keep talking about these things. But Mr. President, I really need you to get back to fired up, ready to go. This time last year, sir, I was campaigning for you in Pennsylvania. I handed out literature for you, sir. I was knocking on doors for you. I was making phone calls for you. I was getting people registered to vote for you. It was not a game. I was in Pennsylvania doing these things to get you elected. Part of that because you inspired me. You hyped me up, fired up, ready to go. I drove from York, Pennsylvania down to, I guess that's Manassas, Virginia, for the last rally that you had the night before election night on Monday, November the 3rd. I was there. I was one amongst 100,000 people. And, excuse me, it was a sight to behold. Fired up, ready to go. I was there, sir. You need to give that speech all the time. You need to go to every state in the union, give that speech once a week. A good friend of mine, DJ Rand, said that you are the Joel Osteen of politics. Do what you do best, sir. You give a great speech. And I understand that campaigning is quite different from governing, but the people need to see you. We need to believe again in the person that we elected. Change that we can believe in. Okay? Don't change by stop giving your good speeches. Keep giving the good speech. Talk to us. We want to see you. And let me also say this, sir. The gubernatorial defeats in both Virginia and New Jersey are not your fault. That was not a referendum on you. I don't know what happened in New Jersey, but I'm close enough to Virginia that I was watching the campaign. Creigh Deeds ran a poopy campaign. Now, you can substitute any word you want to in there for poopy, but Creigh Deeds ran a poopy campaign. You had nothing to do with that. So he lost that totally on his own. So I think that's all my notes because I actually had some things that I had to address. So, Mr. President, we love you. We love Michelle. We love Sasha, Malia. We love you. We want to see you succeed, sir. We don't want them to go back in history and be like, oh, the first African-American president, we let him get in there and he made it worse. No, sir. Hold your stones. Be a Leo. Walk the walk. Talk the talk. Borrow a page from George Bush and do your thing. Do you, Mr. President. Whoever's not with you, they're against you. And if they're not with universal health care, then they are against America. You need to put it to them just like that. Okay? Love you very much, but not like Michelle. Okie dokie.